Life Now. This is your host, Coach TMB, and we are excited about bringing this episode of today's show with you today. We have in the studio with us Floriza Genautis and Latoya Person, who are representing Management Business Solutions here today. How are you ladies doing?
We're doing good. Thanks for having us tonight.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, I'm excited to have you here. I really am. So listen, Floriza, you have over 20 years experience in specialization, professional staffing, and recruiting. What does that mean?
Well, I've been in the industry since 1990, started in Silicon Valley, and actually what it meant for me to get into staffing is when I first migrated to the US, I really never had any opportunity to find a job. So I started as a temporary. I went to staffing agencies and really got a shot in doing temporary work, and really just loved it. I found that I was able to get opportunities that way, and it led to the fact that since I couldn't find a job, they were able to help me find a job, that I want to do the same for other individuals.
Wow. And who would have ever thought that one day you'd have your own business doing the same thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
How does that make you feel to be able to serve in that capacity?
Well, sometimes it's still surreal that we're coming up to our 10th year.
Yes.
And
Almost there. That's right.
this year we're celebrating our 10th year in September 11, and I never really thought that I'm going to be in a position that I'm going to open up my own business, and it just led to that when I first moved to Grand Rapids, and it was the right time.
The right time. Now, Latoya, you are serving as part owner in the business, but I think what is so unique about your story is you came in as an intern. How does that feel to come in as an intern and now be owner?
You know, I still can't believe it sometimes. I talk to my husband, I talk to my children about it, and even my kids say, "Mom, are you part owner of a company?" And I said,
Right.
"Yeah, I guess I am."
I love
How
it.
exciting is that? But I really did. I started off as an intern, and at that time I was taking a new direction in my career. I had a previous history in retail, and found myself rising through the ranks, and just realized that it wasn't something that I was passionate about, and really wanted to finish my degree in something that I was passionate about, and I discovered HR.
Wow.
So when I came to Management Business Solutions, I was really just looking for an opportunity, and I'm so glad that she had the passion to open her own firm because it aligned with my passion, and here I am today. So she gave me that opportunity, and I've served in almost every position within the company, so I'm very proud of that. I know the company very well, and I was just excited when I joined the company.
You know, as I'm sitting here listening to you, one of the words that you just said that really resonates with me, and you ladies know I'm a coach, so you already know where I'm going. You used that passion word. I want to hear both of you talk about the importance of having passion in whatever it is that you do.
Sorry, you want to start? I can
Yeah,
go.
you can
Sure. You know, I have a lot of history with what is my passion, or asking myself those questions. When I was in retail, it was almost like, everyone says it, fitting a round peg in a square hole, and sometimes it just doesn't fit well, even though you're good at it. And I excelled, and I was getting promotions. On the inside, I wasn't passionate. One of the things I discovered when I came to Management Business Solutions was that it wasn't so much what was asked of me in terms of a job description. It was really about, what's your skill set, and does that align with what we're looking for? And so I was able to discover a lot of things about myself that I was strong in that I never would have discovered before, and it just kind of has led my journey to what it is right now. So those skill sets were important. I was able to take a look at different areas in the company and say, what's needed here and what am I good at? How can I contribute to that? Take a look at another area and say, now what am I good at here, and how can I contribute to that goal? And so through that, I've just discovered some really key skill sets that I have, and the good thing is that I get to use it every day. So I get to go to work and do what I'm strongest in every day.
I love it. How about you?
See, passion is, what keeps us going on a day-to-day basis, and what I love with what we've created and in Management Business Solutions is just being able to be who you are on a daily basis. And it makes doing what we're doing not so much of a chore or a job. It's really,
That's good.
it's just a normal day to day.
That's right.
And I think it's so much fun. We're saying earlier, we laugh with our stress because we love what we do. We will have huddles, and you'll have individuals having very different point of view, and it's so much fun to do that, because as little or as big as the issues that we're doing, I know I could depend on Latoya and the team being able to give the appropriate solutions, strategies, or anything that we need to do for our client, and doing the right thing. So we're passionate about what we do because it's not about the bottom line. It's really all about what's good for our client and what's good for the candidate and what's good in bringing them together. So, and trust me, if it's not the right thing, I'm going to hear from everyone saying, this is not going to work. I think we constantly over-deliver, and we see task at hand that clients that we develop staffing solutions for, be very different at every different scenario, at given scenario. And it's so much fun. And that really stems from the passion of everyone. What can they contribute to make this right? And it's not a job. It's fun.
It is fun. It is fun.
And that's because you're operating out of your passion?
That's right. That's right.
You two ladies are leading women here in the city. So, there's some women who really need to hear what you have to say. Would you just take a few moments and just encourage those women who are in business, and maybe they're feeling like the business is not moving like it should? Encourage somebody, because you all know what that's like.
Sure. You can go ahead.
Find something that you would love and passionate about, and continue. Don't continue in that path. Don't second guess yourself, because sometimes when the opportunity is right there in front of you and you don't seize that opportunity, in the end you're going to go back. That what if? And so just continue that. Don't be afraid to fail, because we all failed at one point, and I'm not going to be here if I didn't fail at any given point in my life. So continue that journey, because in the end it's going to be a lot more fun that you have done it.
Absolutely. Latoya,
That's right.
I know you have something to say.
No.
Yes.
No, but just to piggyback off of what she says is, in business there's a SWOT analysis that you do.
What is a SWOT analysis?
SWOT analysis is,
I love SWOT.
well, you take a look at your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats.
Yes.
And so that's really how businesses thrive. We do it annually, but really I like to do it internally. I even do it with my friends. I even do it with my family, to say, what is it that I'm good at? What is it, some of my areas that I really could improve upon? And then what opportunities are out there for me? And so when you're looking at opportunities, don't be afraid to take another direction. Turn around and go the other way. Sometimes that's where you really succeed. And that's what I found for myself. I took a totally different direction. Took an opportunity that even my husband raised his eyebrows at and said, I'm sorry, what are you going to do now? But he's very supportive. And here I am today. So don't be afraid to change directions if that's what's necessary. Learn a new skill. Take on opportunities. Take on additional responsibilities. Even if you're in a position, take on additional responsibilities. Those are the things that you find out about yourself that doesn't always come with the pay. It doesn't always, but it's an opportunity to discover what you're good at.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I don't know what to say. There's so many places I can go in this conversation, but when you had the thought of starting Management Business Solutions, Floriza, what were some of the needs, if you will, that you were noticing in the community that said, you know what, I need to do something about this?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question, because how I actually started the business was a little bit more in the left field, because it was more so I could not find an organization within the Grand Rapids market that really aligned with my value system.
Okay.
When I was in Silicon Valley in California, it was very entrepreneurial. You treat your business you are a business within a business. So do what's right for the organizations, for the companies that you're servicing. And it just seems so bottom line driven with the firms I found here. And it's also seemed like the service to the community is not something that, you know, that they embrace. It's more so, well, because it's right for the business, you need to be there so you could generate more business for the company. And really, that's one of the reasons why I founded Management Business Solutions, is to find a place to, you know, to be able to serve the community, but also be able to be happy with what we do as an organization. And we could do what's right for the company. And, you know, it's not just about the bottom line, that type of thing. And it just really evolved with that. I thought it was just going to be me, myself, and I in the business. And it just really morphed into something to what it is right now. Bigger than me, because I've come across individuals who would say, I do want to work with you and learn from you. And that's really how the journey started, in terms of, well, maybe we could hire another individual, or maybe I could hire another individual, and then let's find an internship program, and then share the same values, the same ethics, and you know, have fun doing it. And so that's really, it's not more so that the community needed something. It's just that what I saw that I could give to the community, and so it was more so I could combine what, you know, all that passions, and then be able to serve the community. And in turn, really, it gave me more. It's like that boomerang.
Yes,
It gave me more.
That.
It gave me individuals like Latoya, who's now an owner of the organization, who embodies the same values and philosophies, and the same kind of care to the community. So, so it's really, it's really fun to see that. And of course, we started the business as the economy is just tanking. So,
and you probably were getting many people just that were saying, no, you shouldn't do it.
Yes, there was a lot of that. And then, you know, I really couldn't figure out why I opened up a business and, you know, had been successful elsewhere, and then open up a business and, you know, be prepared not to take income for 5 years. And then our clients are all laying off everybody. And why would they pay a staffing company? So it was, the journey was so different, but it was so fun, because I found individuals like Latoya who just really embodied what we can do to make this successful. And it wasn't a job.
You know, I love what you just said. I think that's so important, and there's so many nuggets that you just sowed into the audience. So I hope you all, you know, got your pens and papers out and are taking notes. Listen, Latoya, MBS is a very unique company. Do you mind sharing about why MBS stands out from everyone else in the industry?
Absolutely.
Did you see her eyes?
Absolutely. Of course I will. You know, really, you know, sometimes you can, I'll just use an analogy. You pull up to a restaurant and you order off a menu, and that's what it is. You really don't get to customize it or make it your way. It's just what it is that we have available. And that's the total opposite from what we do. We really like to build a relationship with our clients first. Many businesses around, well, nationally, but mainly around Grand Rapids, where we're really getting to know them on a personal level, taking a look at their business, seeing what their needs are, and then developing a customized solution that's just for you. So the next company I work with, it doesn't look the same anymore, because you're not the same company. And so we really take a lot of time to go back and put our heads together as a team and really figure out what's going to be best for you. How do we get you the best talent?
So you
what
do
strategy?
That's tailor-made.
Tailor-made every single time. And it works. We've been very successful at it. Our clients feel the difference. They get to realize the difference when we are done, and you know, that's really what makes us different.
I love it. Now, are there certain industries that you all work with specifically, or is it open?
I'll let you go.
Yeah, it's pretty wide.
Okay.
So it is wide, and we've had clients in the manufacturing sector that, you know, we've fulfilled placements from them from entry level or shop floor to as high as VP of operations for them, so it's across the board.
Okay.
We work with food and beverage companies, service companies. We work with the military. We have the National Guard as one of our clients, so we're pretty wide in terms of our service deliverables.
That's heavy duty, the National Guard.
Yes.
Now, you all are the experts in workforce development, so I want you to help our audience today. I got a couple of thoughts here. So let's talk tips and tricks.
Sure.
Okay.
You guys know this. For job searchers, what would you ladies say are the 3 top things that a job searcher needs to keep in mind when looking for employment?
You want to go?
You
Sure.
know, you go.
I'll tell you, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind is your resume. And so when you're taking a look at positions that you want to apply for, we always say the same resume shouldn't go out to every position you're applying for. So take a look at that job description, take a look at the qualifications and what they're looking for, and then make your resume speak to what that job description says as honestly as you can. So tailor your bullet points. You should change it depending on what you're applying for.
Okay.
So that'd be the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is, you know, really trying to narrow in on what you're really looking for. And so
do you mean in the type of job?
In the type of job, in the type of job that you're applying for. You know, narrowing in and focusing in on what you really want to do is going to be key, because you don't want to apply to the same company a lot of times and then they see that you're applying across the board. And so that tells me that you're not focused. You're not really looking for one certain thing.
Okay. And what would be that third thing?
The third thing will be is, I always do this with individuals I meet, do a self-analysis on what you really wanted to do and do that journey, ask that question. Because if you really are not certain in what responsibilities or opportunities that you're going to look for, it would reflect during the interview. So be prepared with that. You know, why, you know, looking at answering questions, why did you leave that position? You know, just being prepared for that and being able to say, why do you want to work for this position, for this company? So research the company, research the position, do a self-analysis of what it is really, what you're looking for. It might not be the position itself, it might be the company itself, or it might be the mission or the philosophies of the organization. But do a self-analysis of what makes, we go back to that passion, to that, what you're passionate about to get you to that opportunity. Because for me, looking for the ideal job doesn't make it a job. So, and if you truly like what you're doing, you know, no matter if you have the experience or not, it will show. I will give Latoya as the example, as we've talked about earlier. She came from retail. She has no staffing experience. She has hired individuals in the past, but I know there's something innate in her that would make her successful. So I said, you know what, you are the right individual for our organization. And I'm right, she's now an owner.
Yes, you are. You are right on the money. So let's take that question to the next level for employers seeking employees. What would you ladies say are the 3 things that the employers need to keep in mind when it comes to finding that employee, that right employee?
I will start with, you know, it's not always the resume that actually summarizes an individual. Of course, it depends on the level, because if you're hiring a CFO, you certainly want somebody who's a CPA or have that expertise, or an engineer or a developer. But you know, setting aside technical skill set, there is a lot of intangibles that's not easily readable or distinguishable in a background of a candidate. So, you know, when they do utilize staffing firms like us, we go over and above what just the paper says. So we're able to give, you know, a summary of synopsis of an individual to give an insight of why it is. So, you know, that's one thing that we tell our client. It's really not just about the paper, because they are an individual. There is an individual behind that paper that is being presented to you. And sometimes they don't have the right paper to be able to give to them. So they're, you know, just don't discount an individual just based on paper.
That's good. Latoya.
And just to piggyback, you know, really taking a look when you're looking to fill a position, analyzing that position, figuring out what is it that I really need the individual to have, and then what are some things that I'm willing to train on, what are some things that I can live without, honestly. So that means really taking a look at your job description and rewriting it or revising it if necessary, to take a look at that, and so that when you have your pool of candidates that are coming in, you can really, sometimes you'll have a superstar on paper, and then there's one person that's missing one little thing, and that's the person that you should hire. So once you know that, and once you've answered those questions, it really helps your search and it helps your placement.
You know, I love what you all said, and I know we need one more nugget for the employers, but you know, my background is in workforce development too. And so I just want to just have you ladies highlight, you've talked about resumes, but I think what you shared, Latoya, about having that one resume that we send out to everybody, you know, my mind was going back to some clients that I was working with, and people, they can, resume writing can be hard for some people. Does that make sense?
It really is.
Do you have any advice that you could pass on that maybe could help people with, you know, developing better resumes?
Wow, it's easier. It is really not. How do you answer that? It's very difficult. Yeah, there's no one way to write it, and there's not a formula for it. But what I've asked in the past is that, you know, which is weird, but interview yourself in terms of
interview yourself.
Yeah, tell me about yourself and start writing it. And when you have that paragraph, pull out the ones that's important, that is significant. Accomplishment. Don't say that, you know, don't just say I was a very successful individual at that organization. If you're in sales, tell me in terms of numbers and production why you are successful. And that is more significant than saying, you know, I'm the top tier in sales individual for this organization. Well, what does that mean? If your top tier only bills $10 an hour, that's really not going to be very successful. So really, you know, take the time to interview yourself, and because it would also help you in preparing to actually talk to the client at that point, or that prospective you know, employer. But it's so hard to do that. But the more you actually understand and how you write a bullet narrative, the easier it is for you to actually talk to an individual or rewrite your resume catering to the position that you're applying for.
I think that's good. And Latoya, you kind of touched on this a few moments ago, but that you mentioned something about in your journey that like self-analysis. And so that's kind of what, I think that kind of alludes to what Floriza was just talking about.
I'll also add one thing. I'll just give you an example. I have a position right now. I have about 900 resumes that I've looked at for this one position.
We won't ask what that position
is. Please don't, no. But keep in mind that the individual, whether it's a staffing company or the actual corporation that you're applying for, you really only have a few seconds to grab someone's attention. And one of the things that I find that's the most frustrating is formatting. Making things clear and concise. It should be it should be easy to read. Someone is looking for certain things when they're looking. So making sure you're listing your companies, you're listing the title of your position, the years of experience, simple things. But you'd be surprised how your eyes have to search for things like that. So make sure formatting is uniform so that it's easily read and that it can grab whoever's looking, that grab their attention pretty quickly.
Now I'm going to ask that secret question. How many seconds does it take for a resume to grab your attention?
You know, I'd say no more than 10.
Can you say that one more time into that?
No more than 10. No more than 10 seconds. That's all you get.
10 seconds.
About 10 seconds. Your eyes are really skimming for some key areas, and I should be able to read it and develop an analysis pretty quickly.
Of who that person is, skills and qualifications.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, degrees. If you have community involvement, it should be there. You could read it quickly. You have the number of years that, you know, or your employment of, you know, your length of time that you were with one organization. Just being able to go through that very quickly and And trust me, we go through so many resumes
I'm
that
sure. 900 for one particular job.
yes,
Oh my
it
goodness.
happens quickly.
Well, you know, you all are having such a great impact on this city, and so
Thank you.
now as we get ready to bring our time to a close, I want to, this is the coach coming out of me, so
Sure.
I want to ask a reflective question. You've been able to bless so many people in finding that job that they've been passionate about. How do you ladies feel about being able to help people or stir them in down the right road that they've been trying to go down? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, it feels good, of
Yeah.
course.
Of course.
It does feel good. And it really, you have to take a look at how important that is for you. And so, you know, it is something that's important for me. There's experiences that I have to share with individuals. There's a lot of coaching that we do that is not necessarily a part of our day-to-day business, not anything that we're getting paid for, but it's because I care. It's because I know if I share this with you, it'll help you. We do that on a day-to-day basis.
Going that extra mile.
Going that extra mile, that's right.
I think what you just shared is so important, and when we're called to lead, as you ladies are, in order for us to help people get to those places in life, we do have to go the extra mile. You know, especially if we want to be successful ourselves on an individual level. It's important about giving up ourselves, don't you think?
Yes,
That's right,
yes.
that's right.
And for me, I think there's just so little of a time into the day that when I do have an individual in front of me and we're talking about, you know, their career wants and progression and where they want it to be and almost that career coaching, you know, and just exploring that is the reason they came to me is so that we could be very, very transparent.
Yes.
And I really don't have time to sugarcoat, so sometimes, you know,
Believe her when she says that.
I just have to say it.
Say it like it is.
Say it like it is, because it is hard to accept that. So, you know, it is hard to do that, but, you know, to have an open conversation and be very transparent, that establishes that relationship.
Yes.
And so when I do have individuals coming to me, sometimes it's like, this is not the right opportunity for you, but have you explored this?
I love that.
So it makes it easier and it's fun.
Yeah, it is. And it makes us better people, too,
Yes.
on the receiving end and giving, because sometimes it's hard to say the hard stuff, but we
That's
have
right.
to do it. Yes.
Correct, yes.
So listen, ladies, tell the audience where can they go for more information about Management Business Solutions. Give the website, where you're located, so on and so forth.
I'll let you go ahead.
So Management Business Solutions, our website is, URL is MGMTB for management, B for business, and then solutions, SOLUTIONS.com. And our direct number here at downtown Grand Rapids is 616-456-5627, 5 MBS. And you could find us anywhere on our website and apply to open positions.
That's right.
That's it. That's it. Well, ladies, I want to say thank you so much for being a guest on the show today. I have had an absolutely great time with you. I don't want to let you go, but
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been fun.
It is.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to another great episode of In Life Now. And remember, as Coach TMB always says, to live your best life in life now. Until next time, peace.